So next thing, I want to give you a practical way specifically to manage your tasks. And this is something that we generally talk a lot in my coaching sessions. Many people unfortunately don't know the value of time blocking and scheduling. Again, it's something I didn't know. I thought it just okay, I'll just do that. It is one of the most valuable thing in terms of arranging and managing your tasks, right? So the reason why it helps, that keeping tasks in your mind can really stress the brain and the body, because there is limit a number of things that you can remember, right? So, and if you're trying to remember all these things you need to do without being able to visually see them, it can create a lot of stress and anxiety within your mind and body that you're not even aware of. So that is why it is so important to block time to do important tasks. Like we talked about, you did the exercise right before about figuring out what are the problems you go through, what are the tasks you go through. So then taking these tasks and then blocking them, pre-scheduling them, can massively reduce your stress, right? So, for example, this is an example that I had to do. So I needed to prepare the slides, and then I took a little break. Today, I didn't take much of a break, to be honest. I was actually continuing to work in my slides, but and it wasn't stressful for me. I actually really enjoy creating these slides and doing these sessions. So that's one of the things how I do it. I usually use 1 hour of work and 1 hour of break, right? And then we have this session transformation club, and then I take about 1 hour of break, and then I will be sending the necessary follow-up stuff for it. Maybe asking people to give feedback, whatever may be. So that's something I will be experimenting with to do. But these are some of the tasks associated with this project, the project of the Transformation Club. But what I've now started to do is, instead of keeping these tasks in my mind, I would pre-schedule them on my calendar. So we talked about writing down your tasks that you need to do that will help them, but now bringing them onto to a calendar that you can visually see them will really helpful. So what I use is Google Calendar. I use Google Calendar, and I just, if I need more time, I just move them around in a way that I can essentially get things done. So what I usually recommend for people, I know this is not always practical, for 1 hour of work, for 1 hour of break. But you will see that when you practice this system, you will need less and less breaks. But what happens if you continually work? It will stress out the system, stress out your brain and body, because there are limits you can take on. Even though you feel like you can work, you can do it. Your cells have a specific limit. Your brain has specific cells, right? Neurons, and your body have cells that it can have a certain limit or capacity. When you're pushing these limits, is when your body get stressed or irritated. Same with your neurons. So when you get headaches, and if you're getting headaches and things like that when you're working, you probably haven't given your brain and body enough rest, enough time to process what you're going through, or even deal with the problems you have. So that's really important, to give yourself breaks, even if you enjoy the work, to fully calm down and come back to work. So really have a rest and work cycle where you can really enjoy your work, and you will see that you will actually enjoy your work more, rather than just continually work right at one go. So each work session, I have a 1 hour session, I have certain tasks that I will do. I call these work cycles, but that's really what it is. So I have one work cycle for me, has 1 hour of work, 1 hour of rest. And that's really how I like to do it. And sometimes, it goes back and forth depending on my deadlines, but I try to make sure I follow the same format that I'm talking to you about here. Okay, so you will see that you will start increasing your focus, reducing your reduce distractions, and help you also prioritize what matters the most. And also having a visual plan is a major factor in reducing the mental load, right, or the mental stress you feel, and it will allow you to take breaks without feeling guilty, and also help you to enjoy and anticipate the work that you will be doing in the future. Okay, so I do have a little exercise. You can take this exercise on your own time and work on it. But essentially, the idea is to basically identify 5 to 7 major tasks you want to complete for this week, right? Like I did, right? So that might be coming from the problem list you created, from the solutions or the actions you created. So you can start putting and scheduling them in your tasks on your calendar, and also add fun breaks to your calendar as well. What are you going to do when you're taking a break, right? So identify 5 to 7 major tasks you have to complete for this week, right? If you have to create most cycles, it's so be it. But at least start with about creating 5 things. Oh, I got to do this by this day. I got to do this. I got to do that. So make sure that you create 5 to 7 tasks for this week for you to complete. And feel free to add more as you see them coming, but make sure that you do get them scheduled on your calendar, and you will see will starting to make a difference for you. Okay, so don't keep these things in your mind. It's important to make sure that you have these things written down on your calendar. Okay, and then make sure in between you have fun. Having fun is very important to showing love to yourself, encouragement and compassion to yourself, right? But during these work sessions, don't do anything. Keep working on the things that is most important for you, and don't bring your phone. Don't do other things in that hour or hour and a half you're working. Make sure you all you do is just work. And then when you have your break, go have fun. Go talk to your friends. Go on social media. Whatever may be, whatever floats your boat, right? But make sure that fun breaks are actually fun and doesn't put you down. Okay.